Let's now see how to install this into your helmet. For this, we're going to be looking at a full face closed helmet and also a 3/4 open face helmet. Keep in mind, if you're putting it into a modular helmet, it's the same as doing a 3/4 and open face, and regardless of the helmet you're putting it in, there's never any tools that are needed. Now, if your helmet allows for it, start by removing the cheek pads and the headliner. Now, if you can't do that on your helmet, don't worry about it. It just helps to give you some more room to work. Looking at the right side of the helmet, we see pretty quickly that this helmet has got some cutouts designed for speakers. If your helmet doesn't have this, again, it's not a big deal. What we're looking for is just a place for one of your round Velcro in the general area of your ear for right now. So we'll do that on the right side. We'll do that on the left side. You can go ahead and grab your speakers and know that the one with the shorter cable is going to end up on the left side of the helmet. The one with the longer cable goes on the right side of the helmet. Most importantly with the speakers is you want them landing right over your ears when you put the helmet on. So with this helmet, we'll start in this location. If you need to use the speaker booster pad, you can put that in first to make that a flat spot, but it's always a good idea. Let's just start with one location. It's only Velcro, so we can always move it later. We'll get the left side put in. We'll move to the microphone. Now, anytime we're looking at an open face helmet like this or a modular helmet, we're going to want to reach for the hybrid boom microphone. Now, we're looking at the inner left side of the helmet, and it's always a good idea to just grab the microphone and get an idea of where you're going to put the Velcro down before you actually put it down. You want to leave enough boom so that it can reach all the way in front of your mouth. This looks good, so I'll grab my Velcro. We're going to put the first one right there and the second one right up front. Then we'll just take our microphone, put it right into place, being mindful to stay away from any buttons or snaps. In this case, we are good. And always just make sure this little arrow is facing the direction of your mouth when you go to use it. Over to our full face for a second. This has a chin bar. It's not going anywhere, so we're going for the wired button mic. For this, you're just going to grab one of the rectangular Velcros and stick it right in the front of the helmet. Then we'll take the wired button mic and simply place it right on top. Again, just like speakers, location is everything, so start here. If it's too low or too high, adjust accordingly. All right, our speaker's in, we've got our mic mounted. Now it's time to mount the cradle to the helmet. The way to decide which method you're going to use, adhesive or pinch, is by looking at this left side, kind of bottom rim of the helmet. If this edge is greater than 5 millimeters, or as in this case, you've got an actuator right here, you're not going to want to use the pinch. We're going to use the adhesive mount on this helmet. First things first, whether it's a new helmet or an old helmet, it's always a good idea to take one of those alcohol prep pads and just clean the area nice and good. Once that dries, take your adhesive plate, get an idea of where you're going to put it, and once you have an idea of a good location for yourself, go ahead and stick it on. And then when you're ready, just take the cradle and you're going to slide it right onto that adhesive bracket, making sure you always get the click, which locks it into place. Okay, now back to our full face for a second. Now when we look at the left side of this helmet, this is nice and thin. There's nothing in the way. This is a perfect scenario where we would use the pinch mount. So we take the magnetic air mount, put these two together prior to putting it on the helmet. Basically, you're going to click them together like that, make sure it's locked in. And then looking at the left side of the helmet, kind of dead center, just kind of position it into place, start pushing it in using whatever force is needed until you get it all the way up, nice and flush with the bottom. That's not going anywhere. Take a moment to plug in our microphone and speaker wires. And at this point, we're ready to start putting this thing back together. From here, it's all about cable management. There's always room inside of a helmet to hide the connectors, hide the wires. Everything should snap right back into place, and you shouldn't have any discomfort when you go to throw the helmet on. And now for the best part, just grab your PackTalk Pro module, put it near the mount, and let it do the rest. To remove the module, you've got a little tab up front. Push that down towards the helmet, slide the module forward, and that takes it off. When it's all said and done, everything should look nice and clean, no visible wires hanging everywhere, everything looks sharp, and you're good to go.